You have to train yourself in the discomfort. Growth requires you to train yourself in the discomfort. Growth requires you to make adjustments to things that you were comfortable in or with. Growth is going to require you to understand that in order for me to grow, I have to get in a position and understand that being uncomfortable is part of this process. Do you know the reason why a lot of times we don't grow the way we should? Do you know a lot of the times the reason why we don't heal? I'm talking about healing in a way where it's not superficial, healing in a way where it's not based off material things, but I'm talking about healing in a way where it's just rapid healing. Like you are healing your inner child. You are healing the trauma. You healing those wounds. You healing that rejection. You healing the fact, the trauma from your last relationship and the one prior to that. You healing your mindset and your emotions and your nervous system. The reason why a lot of times healing does not take place in these spaces is because we're not willing to be uncomfortable. You got to think about this. Even when you look throughout the Bible, even Jesus required certain things from the disciples, but it did cause them to be uncomfortable but Jesus kind of knew that this is going to require you to be uncomfortable. But you have to choose. Do you want to choose being comfortable or being uncomfortable? Because you staying comfortable will only create you being stagnated. You staying in a space where you can only grow past the ceiling and you can't go any further. See, this is what people, I'm talking about, I'm being honest, as human beings, society will make you believe that to grow, you need to be comfortable. And it's crazy because it's the opposite. In order to really grow and heal your traumas, heal all the baggage that's sitting there internally within you, to stop projecting your trauma onto other people that you date and get in new relationships with, you will literally have to get uncomfortable. You're going to have to get uncomfortable. You're going to have to let go of that old connection that ain't serving you no more, because you can't even grow in it. You can't even mentally or emotionally evolve. You don't even know how to do the inner child work to heal your inner child, because you're in a connection where it doesn't support your growth. It doesn't support you emotionally. It doesn't support you mentally, physically, or spiritually. It doesn't even support you to heal your trauma in that relationship. So why stay in a connection that does not support your healing? Why stay in a connection that does not support your growth? Why stay in a connection that does not support you to heal your mental, to heal your emotions, to heal your nervous system, to heal your childhood wounds, to heal your insecurities, to heal your low self-esteem, to heal the lack of confidence you have? Why stay in these connections that does not even support your healing in no way, shape, or form? But the reason why we stay is because of comfortability. It's our human nature, the human being part of us saying, stay in this connection because this is comfortable. You don't want to start over, girl, because it's going to require you to be uncomfortable. It's going to require you to let go of this relationship. It's going to require you to let go of this connection. It's going to require a lot out of you. If you let go of this relationship, that means you're going to have to take time to be by yourself and single and alone, and not even alone, because to me, to be single is you're just learning how to be with yourself. My thing is this: if you can't be by yourself and with yourself, how can you expect someone to want to be with you? You can be with other people, but it won't last long because you have not even yet learned how to be with yourself. So it's going to be difficult for other people to want to stay with you and be with you consistently long term because you haven't even taken the time to learn how to be with yourself. And you hear people say, well, I know how to be with myself. I know how to be single and all of that. But see, it is a big difference with learning how to be with yourself and by yourself. To be with yourself means you are actually like looking at yourself from a place of self-awareness. You looking at your trauma, you looking at your wounds, you looking at your triggers, you looking at like a lot of stuff about you that you have not even unpacked. That's being with yourself. When you with yourself, that means you actually are doing the work to integrate your demons in your light side. That means you actually are allowing yourself to unpack your demons so you can figure out what has happened to you and why you have gotten to this place in your life that your nervous system is so dysregulated, that you attract all these toxic partners, that you keep these connections going in your life that you know is not even healthy for you, but it keeps you in a place of chaos and struggle and survival mode. This is why I say it's two different things to be with yourself and by yourself. To be with yourself means you're willing to look at yourself and do the work. To be by yourself, meaning I'm just going to be by myself for this season, but eventually I'm going to go ahead and find somebody else new because I need to be with somebody. It is two different things. And that's why I say, as human beings, our human nature will make us believe that being comfortable is more better than being uncomfortable. So, my point I wanted to make is this: growth only comes when you can get uncomfortable. I'm not even saying it's a bad thing to be comfortable in a relationship. But when you are so comfortable where you're stagnated and you're not even growing, don't get me wrong, we can all tell when we're growing. You can tell when you're growing, and you can tell when you're healing, and you can tell when you're even growing at, like when you healing your mental or your emotions or your nervous system. You can tell when all of that stuff is healing about you, because it's like your nervous system is balanced out. It's not chaotic anymore. It's not thriving in the chaos anymore, but it prefers the peace. You can tell when your mental is healing because your mental is not racing, but your mental is so self-aware about patterns and things and behaviors that you yourself have within yourself and how they got there. And it's like your emotions become more stable. Your emotions become more grounded to where you're not so quick to react to everything, but you can ground your emotions in your spirit. So even if it's chaos on the outside around you, you're not necessarily drawn into the chaos, but you can see the chaos or the conflict or the difficulties, and you can be grounded in your energy and your spirit and still watch it from the perspective of how you watch it, and understand that, okay, that's happening. That situation is happening. That chaos is happening. That difficult situation is happening. But okay, I get it. I can look at it from a new perspective, from me being grounded, to understand that it's just a simple misunderstanding that got exploded. You see what I'm saying? It's like you'll be able to look at situations and circumstances on the outside of you and see the solution, is what I mean. That's how you know your nervous system is grounded, that your energy, your spirit is so grounded where you can look at certain dynamics and see a new perspective, but also see the solutions too. And you won't feel off balance. You won't feel all over the place. You won't feel chaotic, but you'll feel steady. You'll feel a flow. Like You'll feel as though you're healing certain parts of yourself that you didn't know you could. And see, let me say this: as human beings, our human nature will tell us that we have healed from something. Like sometimes our emotions and our human nature will play tricks on us and make us believe that we healed from our childhood wounds, our abandonment issues. And our human nature will make us believe we healed it. And then certain situations or certain connections will come in our life, and it will be a mirror for us. And then when we start getting triggered, when them old wounds start coming up, or when we start experiencing like certain chaotic situations within our nervous system, when our mental start being all over the place again, when our emotions are just all out of whack, and we are reacting to situations rather than responding, all of these things, as our human nature will make us think we healed it from these things, God will allow certain situations to come into our life to show us you have not healed it, this part of you. That is the lesson I needed you to get. You haven't healed it, this part of you. So now you have to learn how to be with yourself, not by yourself. With yourself is to be by yourself, but with yourself means you're doing the work because it's necessary. So understand that growth is going to require you to get uncomfortable. It's going to require you to be alone a lot, honestly. Growth will require you to really be in hermit mode sometimes, to where you're not with anybody. You just by yourself, you solo. And don't get me wrong, we human beings, and you're going to miss certain connections that you used to have that you don't have no more. But growth, if it's almost like if you just stick with it during the uncomfortable stages. If you stick with it, if you stick with the uncomfortable stages of where you're at, it's like it's going to benefit you, and you're going to start to see yourself growing. You're going to start to hear the downloads. It's like God going to start to be able to give you the wisdom. Your nervous system is going to feel so balanced out. It's like your emotions and your mental is going to feel so stable and grounded, like energetically and spiritually. Your emotions going to feel so grounded and solid and stable, where you're going to be able to know, okay, I'm healing now. You know, so I just wanted to say that sometimes growth only comes with when we get uncomfortable. It does not always come when we're comfortable. I'm not saying you can't be comfortable in your relationship with your partner. Not saying that. But when life hands you the opportunity to say, do you want to grow and heal all this trauma and unpack all your baggage? Or do you want to stay comfortable? Me, I'm going to choose to get uncomfortable, because I know as long as I'm willing to get uncomfortable, I know that God is going to literally lead me through the next step. Me, if I have to choose between being comfortable and being uncomfortable in order to heal my demons and heal my darkness, I'm going to choose to be uncomfortable, because this is where I'm going to be able to heal what my mother could never heal. This is where I'm going to be able to heal my emotions and my nervous system, but my mother couldn't heal her nervous system and her emotions because she didn't know how. This is where I'm going to learn how to go back into my childhood and try to figure out why I felt neglected and abandoned, why I felt like I wasn't good enough. I'm going to go ahead and always choose to be uncomfortable to heal, because this is where I'm going to fight the battles. I'm going to go and deal with my own trauma, my own baggage, my own demons, because this is the place where my children don't have to deal with my demons, but I'm going to deal and fight the battle of my own demons so my children don't have to fight my battles for me. This is why I'm going to always choose being uncomfortable when the timing is necessary for me to be, because I get to go ahead and unpack the baggage, the unhealed trauma, the wounds, the neglect, the low self-esteem, the lack of confidence, the self-abandonment, the self-sacrifice, the people-pleasing, the wanting to stay in connections that's toxic and dysfunctional, staying in a space where my nervous system can only thrive in chaos It's like I'm going to go ahead and choose to be uncomfortable because I'd rather heal my demons and learn how to integrate my demons with my light so that I don't have to continue to pass that on to my children and they fighting my demons when there's something I should have been dealing with. So if you put before me being comfortable and uncomfortable, comfortable means you can grow, but you're only going to grow to the ceiling. Other than that, you will be stagnated. You won't grow any further. And if you put before me being uncomfortable, meaning having to be by myself and with myself, I'm going to choose to be uncomfortable every time. I'm going to choose being with myself every time. I once heard this person on YouTube say, this man, he said, I'd rather fight my own demons and deal with my own battles in this lifetime so that my children don't have to fight my demons for me. But I'd rather do the battling for them. Sometimes the greatest thing you can do is get uncomfortable so that you can battle your own demons, your own trauma, your own triggers, your own wounds, your own fact that you feel like you're not good enough, you feel rejected. Sometimes the only thing you can do is unpack all your demons, your battles, and face it head on so that you don't keep passing that on to your children and they children. It's like generational curses. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I see it. Like my mother did not know how to unpack her trauma. She just didn't. And that's the truth. My mother had so much trauma, she didn't know how to unpack it and still don't to this day. But I made a choice to say, God, I'd rather be uncomfortable and unpack all my trauma, unpack all my demons, unpack all my darkness so I can learn how to integrate my light and my darkness so I can heal all of this shit. I want to heal it, God. I don't want to stay in the trauma. I want to heal it. I don't want my nervous system to continue to thrive in chaos and disappointment. I want to heal it. I don't want my emotions to continue to be all over the place and dysregulated, and my mental is not stable. So now mentally I'm unstable. Emotionally I'm unstable. My nervous system is unstable. I don't want to live in that type of world. So I'm choosing to get uncomfortable, God. I'm choosing to make myself uncomfortable so I can go ahead and tap into whatever needs to be dealt with to heal this now. So here's what I say. When God presents us with an opportunity to heal something about ourselves, only you can decide if you want to heal it or not. Only you can decide if that's something you even want to have to look at about yourself and heal it. Because if you choose to heal it, that means you got to be ready to get uncomfortable. You got to be ready to go ahead and see yourself and not someone else. You got to be ready to go ahead and deal with your emotions and your mental. You got to be ready to unpack your demons. You got to be ready to unpack all that darkness in you. But me, I'm going to choose to be uncomfortable. so I can unpack what needs to be unpacked so I can heal it the right way this time. I don't ever want to be in a space where I'm superficially healing. I want to be in a space where I'm authentically, genuinely, like in a real way, healing all the trauma that I didn't even know was there. And all the trauma that I did know was there that I never wanted to face or even deal with. So remember that growth, it does require you to get uncomfortable. Nobody can force you to get uncomfortable. Nobody can make you get uncomfortable to grow. Nobody can make you walk away from a connection so that you can actually see your growth. Nobody can do none of that because we all got free will. But you get to choose. You get to choose. And that choice is yours.